everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everybody's been having a great weekend and everything's good on your end of the world. We are at our once a month Peace of Mind Mending Pieces. We're finally to that day again. Y'all, where is the year gone? I mean, it's crazy. It's like our planet's spinning in overdrive and days are going by too fast, seem like. Can't keep up these days. Anyway, I have Myra here, my sissy. And Dana's and Danny is here.
There we go. I've been called worse, hon. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I don't know why that didn't come out right. Too funny. Oh, okay. And Rita was the first one in the channel, and she says, so now I am super early. Well, I'll just sit and sew my new type of blocks. This has been fun. After I finish with these 1.5 inch squares, don't think I'll do that again anytime soon, she says. And we have Carrie. Hello, hello. Donnelly is here. It's good to see you. Rita, wait. And then we got Cindy here as well. And Janet's here. So, yeah, we'll wait till a few more people filter in. So while we're waiting on others to filter in, those that are already in the chat, what have you been working on this weekend? I see Rita's been sewing up a storm, so let's see what else everybody else is doing. And we got Raven in here as well. Welcome, welcome. It's been a minute, Sissy.
I still can't find you.
Huh?
Try refreshing.
Refresh?
Yeah, we'll try refresh.
You can't find me on the browser?
On YouTube, on my phone.
You should be there because I'm not private.
I was gonna say, then you should be able to go to our channel. And it should be the first,
here. I'll send you. There. Let me send you the link in your messenger just in case, so you don't have to find it. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Watch y'all's ears. Oh, it's already muted. Okay, good. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna send it to you on Messenger, Sissy.
Rita says, "Wait, I'm not really here. I never sewed. Nope."
Rita's too funny. Gotta love her. Yesterday
she was a
flannel
quilt. That sounds like fun.
Well, I mean, you're sending it, so
yeah, hang on, I'm working on it. Yesterday she said she was a robot.
So funny.
She says, I'm a figment of your imagination. I just sent you the link, Sissy.
Well, we welcome everybody. We don't discriminate.
That's right.
Yeah, robots and everything. Right. That's right. As long as you're nice, we don't care.
Yep. Let's see. Carrie says she's been working on a diamond paint snowman. And then Donnelly says, I train horses and don't sew either, but love Katie. Aw, thank you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And hi, Denise. And Denise is saying hi to Myra. She says it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Rita, or not, I'm sorry. Raven is saying, I need to do a Christmas block this week for a Santa swap with a local quilting group. That sounds like fun. And then Rita says,
does sound like fun.
Yeah. And then Rita says, I even have a remote and oh, ha, ha,
ha. Oh, because she's a robot. I get you.
Yeah.
Too funny.
That's pretty funny. And she
says, I'm glad to hear
that
everybody's in such a great mood. They have such great senses of humor.
Yeah. She says, oh, and that means now I have to be nice. What has this world come to where I have to be nice? You can't find it, Sissy?
Yeah, I got it. I'm looking at it. We're good. I'm good.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
Would you like to know what I'm working on today?
Yes.
I'm actually working on something today.
Good. So what is that going to be? Oh,
those are cute. What are those?
They're going to be
those
key fobs. I have those little things to go on the end, and then they've got circles that you can put your keys, or you can put them on your luggage to identify your luggage or whatever.
Cute.
But I'm making them for my for the group that's going on the cruise with me in May, to
That's
go
right, I
along with my
remember now.
Americana Spirit of 76 theme.
Nice.
So I may have found my new Christmas project for my family. Not that any of them need or will want a fob, but it seems to sew up pretty fast and pretty darn easy. So if these things that I bought, if I have enough strength, or if my husband can help me, and of course he would, then, and I don't have my scissors. Anyway, this is what they look like. I've sewed them in 3 places.
That's
That
cool.
And
looks
they're
awesome.
They look great.
so easy, even I can do it.
Rita says she's
That's a
sewing
good selling point.
Yeah, that's a good selling point. Rita says she is sewing 1.5-inch squares together, making a 5-inch block, and then turning them into half square triangles to make pinwheels. Then snowballing the pinwheels. You get a pinwheel block on point, looks different, completely different. And she said she made a bunch of key fobs that sew fast.
Yeah.
And she just puts D-links on hers. Okay, so
D-link.
let's talk about
I know what you mean.
Huh?
I know what she means, D-links. I had to think. And that's hard for me right now sometimes.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. Or what the topic is. So the topic is, now I forgot what was it.
It's one of 2 things.
Yeah, there's 2 things. So the first topic will be about so we are approaching the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then add to that we have the days are getting shorter, especially for some of us more than others, because I'm down to 6 hours and 5 minutes of daylight.
Oh yeah.
Then after after New Year's, you got January, where you're in the middle of winter totally, and some people are not affected by it, while some of us are. It's like you have this big, huge letdown right after New Year's, because you had the whole inertia of all of the holidays coming up and being with family and getting out and Christmas shopping and, doing all these things that makes this time of the year a little bit crazy. So we're going to talk about how that affects us mentally, emotionally, or some people may have no effects and other people might. And so we're going to discuss that. And I'm hoping you in the chat will say, I want you guys talking to us today, because I have a task for all of you while we're discussing this subject. And the other subject that we're going to talk about, which I've already talked to Myra about, and she's okay about this discussion, is how do we handle when we lose someone we love? And Myra's, most of you know what's happened with Myra's mom. And I know of 2 other quilters who lost their moms. So we're going to kind of broach on that subject a little bit, on how to handle the grief, how to keep yourself on track, and Myra seems to be doing pretty good considering. I love you.
He's doing a whole heck of a lot better than I was doing when I lost my one of my parents. So I commend her for that.
I didn't have this piece when my daddy died because it was unexpected and we had no pre-grieving, and that's a whole nother topic. But I think the topic of loss thrown in with these first holidays, whether it's their birthday, whether it's your first birthday without them, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, it's all a timely topic. And with that said, I'm heating to death down here in Florida. I'm going to go get a fan and get my scissors, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would like to throw out a question to the group.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, I know you all know me as this really nice, affable, kind human being,
Yeah.
but I have thrown a fork at Thanksgiving at someone.
Oh, what?
I'm sure you've never done anything like that, any of you, but I have gotten a little upset and thrown a fork. Do you always have these Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith Thanksgivings, holidays when you gather with family that you don't see every single day? Or do your expectations exceed their ability to meet, and then you're let down and you get upset and you throw forks? I'm going to let y'all think on that one.
Yeah, think of that topic.
I
That's
vote
a
for the
great
second
topic.
one. I vote for the second one.
From my perspective, um, my family was split apart. You know, I'm not talking about current. I'm talking about when I was raising my kids. And so every time the holidays rolled around, I felt the loss of that, the loss of not getting to be with my parents and my family, you know, for Thanksgiving and for Christmas and all this, because we were so split apart because of my father's garbage. And, you know, every year I went through the same grief. It was a repeat every year, the same grief, because I felt like my kids were being cheated of something that should have been special that they didn't get, you know. And I don't know how I dealt with it from year to year the way I did, um, because I always experienced that. And also, you know, when January would roll around, it would be like this big, huge letdown. It's like, what if we, you know, it was because winter was in progress, and I literally felt like I had lost my mind or something for a while there. You know, it was really
Wow.
hard to explain. It was like I was sad, I was angry, you know, because my kids missed out on yet another holiday with family because my family just couldn't, you know, couldn't. I mean, my family lived 4 blocks down the road from us, and they couldn't be bothered to even say hi, you know, nothing,
Oh, jeez.
you know. And you know, when the kids got older, that, you know, they started asking questions. Mom, why do we not go to grandma and grandpa's? How come we never do holidays with them? Blah, blah, blah. And it's hard to explain to your children that your abusive dad um, wouldn't allow us over there. You know, it was sad. So that's why I wanted to bring this subject up, because some of us have no family to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with, especially when we're raising kids. As an older adult now, it doesn't bother me as much as it did when I was raised. It bothered me a lot when I was raising my kids because I felt like my kids were being cheated, and
Right.
and maybe I even felt cheated. I don't know, but I was more concerned about them because I felt like, you know, and I can remember this. I can remember in school, when I was in school, and kids would be talking about, you know, their parents and all the beautiful things they were going to do for the holidays, while mine was just, you know, not that way. And I was always jealous. So anyway, so what about you guys? What do you experience during the holidays? Do you have great holidays where you don't have any sadness happen, or do you have a letdown in January after all of the inertia of everything happens? Let's talk about that a little bit. We want some feedback from you also for what Myra was talking about when family does get together. Do you want to throw a fork at someone?
We don't recommend it. We don't encourage it, but it does happen.
Well, yeah,
I
some people
couldn't
could.
hear because I couldn't hear because I turned the fan up on high. So that's why I've been jumping up and down, because now I turned it on low. And so
Yeah, because some people in the family can be a jackass for sure, you know.
That's where my family was at. Yeah, there was
Hey,
always one in
Robin.
the bunch.
So we got some more in
hey,
here right now.
Robin.
And we have Susan in here. It's good to see Susan in here. I thought I saw someone else drift. Hey, Felicia, it's good to see you. They're drifting in now. Um, We got Janet. I already said hi to Janet, but hi again. So anyway, that's the two topics. But also think about the question that Myra asked, and then I have a question after y'all have answered her question that I want to broach with you because I think these are two good topics to be talking about because yeah, everything's about to get crazy.
The holidays can be very difficult for many.
So Myra, with your family, and Robin is saying, Myra, my condolences. With your family, is the family going to get together, or are they all gone home, or are they going to hang about until after the holidays? What's their plans?
Well, for those of you that don't know, 6 weeks before our mother died, we had to put her in a senior living facility. It was not a nursing home. None of the people were bedbound until my mother became bedbound. And my sister and I were there the last 48 hours of her life, and we were in this little bubble of love, and it was peaceful, and it was a homegoing. And while I'm sad, my mother's funeral really was a celebration of life. And
she had a long life. Wow.
She died on I don't even know what day she died. She died on the 4th. We buried her on the 10th. We wanted to bury her on the 9th, which was her 92nd birthday. That was a Sunday, but the cemetery wouldn't do it. So on that Sunday, we had all the immediate family that could and would come in, and we bought a big, huge sheet cake. And on the cake, we wrote all the names we called my mother. Like there was Gran and Granny and Myra and Shug and Honey and Babe and Big Myra, because I'm little Myra, even though I'm way bigger than my mom ever thought about being. And then there was one at the very top. Oh, there was Princess Myra to identify her Daughter of the Nile Masonic Family Association. And then at the very top right, left-hand corner, in all caps, your mother.
Yeah.
Because when it was months to stay with mom, if mother wouldn't take her meds or her breathing treatments, I'd call my sister, the nurse, and I'd say, your mother. And then when Phyllis was here and Phyllis saw a different side to my mom. Phyllis grew up with a different mom than I did, even though we're in the same family. She's 4 years older. She's the oldest and the go with the flow, and I'm the hit the brick wall. I can't, let me show you I can. And so mother and I, we were like this until the very end, except at the very end, the last year we were not. And it was lovely, and it was a shock. But so I've lost my train of thought. I do that a lot right now. That's a part of grieving. But what was it? Somebody help me. Where was I going?
We're not sure. We were just listening to you.
Okay. Well, anyway, so Sunday we had everybody over, and Phyllis saw a different part of my mother. And so she would call me and say, your mother, because that certainly wasn't her mother. So anyway, so we all had birthday cake, and the Masonic family brought food on Sunday, and there was about 30 of us here, and it was great. And that's all immediate family, because I had 4 children and they were all able to come, and one of my children had 4, and my husband's 2 children came, and it just was lovely. And then on Monday we went and did the funeral, and we played Will the Circle Be Unbroken by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band featuring Johnny Cash. We had 3 songs. The second song was Randy Travis, and it was Blessed Assurance, because my mother's mother always loved that song, and it just was comforting to my sister and I. And then we had Alan Jackson, whom my mother loved. Alan Jackson, of course, it wasn't him, it was his CD, you know. But anyway, he sang I'll Fly Away. And then
Good
after,
song.
thank you. And then after I'll Fly Away, the Daughters of the Nile did their little Masonic service for Mom. It lasted about 7 minutes. And anyway, then I finally talked my sister into this. And if any of y'all don't know this song, you write it down and go look it up. There's a song called Dumas Walker, DUMUSWALKER, by the Kentucky Headhunters. And it's a bar song.
It's a part song. I
And
love that.
it is a bar song. My mom and dad used to juke and dance to that song all the time, even though my mom wasn't much of a drinker. And so as we left the funeral, not loud and blaring, but they played the song Dumas Walker, and the words are, let's all go down to Dumas Walker, let's all go down to Dumas Walker.
That's
and then
so sweet.
I mean, and so we left smiling. I don't know what anybody else did, but anyway, so
That's
as far as the
beautiful.
holidays, I actually have been invited to my son's here in town in Panama City. And so I'm going to get to be with my 5-year-old grandson. And
Nice.
my sister is having her kids down to her Inverness, Florida lake house. And that sounds real ta-ta, but it's a house built in the 50s, 60s, and it has 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. It sounds, lake house, but it's a little place to go. It's great. And her kids have never been there. So anyway, Phyllis is going back to Nebraska for Christmas. Bill and I we're going home during the week to Ridge Manor to clean up our house and clean out our house and get it ready to go on the market. But on the weekends, we have to be back in Panama City because Bill has gotten involved in the Shaddai Shriners. He's been one for years, but never been active. And we have a Harley Davidson trike, and they have a Harley Davidson Shaddai bikers group, and he joined, and they have a parade every weekend in December. So we're going to come 6 hours back and do the parades and then go back home.
That sounds like fun.
And it'll keep us busy, and I need that right now. Because otherwise I lay on the couch. And so yeah, but I don't know what we'll be doing or where we'll be for Christmas. We may be in Disney on Christmas Day, just the 2 of us. I don't know, but it's all good. It's all good. So, and yes, those of you, I am very spoiled, and Bill and I are very blessed to be able to do Disney and have the life that we're living right now. I've been a welfare mom with 4 kids, and I've been at the other end of the spectrum, and I like this end better.
So here's the comments to what we've started out with. Let's see. Rita says, wait a minute. She says, my favorite is tiny pea-sized ice cubes, and they make great throws. Talking about throwing at people. I made a bunch of puff squares and threw them. Let me see. Susan says, I've been lazy today. I got to finish these Amish folded star pot holders for my craft fair Sunday. Rita says, my family is 4-legged and furry, and I am always glad when February comes. I dislike November, December, and January. Hey, Robin, it's good to see you. Let's see here. Susan says, we don't get together. Family is scattered throughout the U.S., and yes, a few are jackasses. Robin's saying, Myra, my condolences. Carrie says, no family here. I'm alone. So those of you who are alone that have no family, how do you handle the holidays? Let us know how you're able to filter through all of this inertia of everything. Do you experience anything, or I mean, how do you handle just that? Because I know there's plenty that are alone during the holidays. And then Susan says holidays can be extremely stressful for a lot of people. Yes. And Felicia says, good evening, Myra. My condolences to you and your family. You are still in my prayers.
Thank you so much.
Please. Okay. And then Rama says, I'm the middle child. I have no breaks. If I feel like throwing a fork, it flies. Sounds like my sissy. Oh boy. And then Rama says, Myra, question mark. Did you have a question for Myra, Robin?
Yes.
Well,
thank
you all for the prayers and the condolences. We felt them all, and we appreciate them truly.
Yeah, they were all thinking of you when I let them know.
Robin,
and it's okay if you shed a tear or two while we're here.
Yes, they were. I read every comment.
Let's see. Nancy says, hi, y'all. And then Janet says, after my husband's passing, my boys and I like to do something he didn't like. We would then say, if he didn't like it, he should be here to object. Oh, that's a good one. That's real good. That's funny. Robin says, I don't know. She said name. Rita says, I hide in my craft room and redo nail designs. I do not do holiday. Last time I did was back in 1994. Wowee. Hi, Mona. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so Myra, any strategies that those who might have, struggle during this time of the year? Any strategies you want to suggest?
Okay, so before I suggest anything, why don't we hear from everybody as to what you already do? Because I don't have answers for everybody, but I can pull them out of you. So what do you do? I do have some strategies for sure that I use personally and that I know about. So but let's hear, it's not all about me. So what do y'all do to get through the holidays? I like staying in my craft room and ignoring the holidays. That's not a bad thing if you can get away with it. I wouldn't be allowed to do it, but
that is exactly what I did the last Thanksgiving. My mother handed me a quilt that she was working on, and she asked me to finish the binding on it. And that was probably the best thing that was the best holiday I ever had, because I didn't have to deal with any of it.
Yeah, so what Myra said, what do y'all do to get through the holidays? What's your strategy? Let's see what everybody has to say about that. And while we're waiting on answers, I'll read a comment Cindy said. She said, my children live in Illinois and I live in Florida. My husband passed away in September after 2 years. I don't know if she meant that as like in 2 years ago. She says, I feel sad, angry, and don't know how to get
by, probably.
Maybe let's get by. Okay, Cindy. So she's still struggling. And Rita says, she says, I avoid holidays, period.
I like investing in duct tape for my loud cat. Cindy, has your husband been gone 2 years or?
Felicia says, I stay at home, look at football, and listen to gospel music. Raven says, lack of strategy. I just stuff it all down and lose it incrementally.
Oh, that sounds not real the healthy, Raven. Let's make this year different, okay, Raven? Let's lose it all at once and get it out if you need to, rather than stuff it, because the more you stuff, the harder it is on your body when you explode. And I'm a screamer. I believe in getting in my car and screaming if I need to. Had to pull off the side of the road Thursday or Friday, y'all. I was going out to Panama City Beach, to do something for my husband, and I thought about calling my mom to tell her where I was going and what I was doing, and realized I can't call my mom. And that's the first time since November 4th that I've thought that. And so as soon as I got off the bridge, I pulled into a parking lot and had a really, probably my first good real boohoo. Yeah, so I went in the embroidery. I was taking shirts to be embroidered for my husband for this bikers group. And so I went in there with my eyes just probably looking like who's beat her, but yeah.
Hey, Catherine, it's good to see you. I'm doing all right. And then Carrie says, afternoon, everyone. And then Cindy erased what I was about to read, darn it.
I just to piggyback off of what Myra said, I just wanted to let everybody else know, or encourage everybody else and remind everybody that crying is okay.
Yes.
It's a very, very healthy form of letting go of your emotions. And now I'm the kind of person who cannot cry in front of other people. It's a personal thing. It's just what I do. But I do know, there are times where I do need to cry just to let it all out. And usually what I will do, and again, this is just me, I will go into a room in my home, whatever room it is, and I'll shut the doors, letting everybody know not to come in, and I will cry by myself. I realize it's not always healthy, but sometimes it's what I need, and they all are aware of that now, and usually they just let me.
Okay.
But crying is an extremely, male or female, it doesn't make a difference. It is a very healthy way for you to just let go of those emotions. And you should never be afraid to do that, even if it's in your car or in the bathroom, by yourself on the floor or wherever it is that you need to do that. You should never feel afraid to do that. Why is the puppy crying? Speaking of crying, I have a puppy crying.
Robin says, I wasn't going to do anything for Christmas last year. My mom was on the verge, so I went and got a table gnome tree. She was so happy. Use it this year too. And then Muriel says, hello, everyone. Robin saying, Cindy, congratulations. Rita says, stuffing it in is going to blow sooner or later. Guarantee on that. I learned that the hard way. Now I'm angry, I yell. Now when I'm angry, I yell. Yep. Then Brenda says hi to friends. Rita says, no, I am one that has to say I do not cry. I just go silent and the hubby leaves me alone. My biggest thing about crying is when I cry, I get angry. Very angry. Because and Myra knows why, because one of the things that I learned how to do when I was younger, when my dad was rampaging, is not to cry because he wanted you to cry. So I learned how to not cry. And then when I did cry, it made me feel like I was weak. So that would be what would bring the anger out, is because it would make me feel like I was showing weakness, which is what I was trying not to show. So but now, like when I do get upset, there's been a couple times where I've had a big blowout where I've cried and Nikolai's held me and he's like, let it out. It's okay to let it out. Don't be angry, just let it out. And I've let it out. And he's had his arms around me the whole time I'm doing this. And I feel, later afterwards, I'm like, I can't believe I just did that, but, but, he seems to be my buffer. And Mona says, if you are struggling, I suggest calling a mental health professional. Yes. Rita says, I already read that. So I just saw somebody about their wedding anniversary. Where did it go? Cindy said, she erased it again. Cindy said she was married 52 years before her husband passed. 52 years. I can't even imagine.
Okay. So Cindy, guys, crying is healthy. Crying every day might not be healthy. I'm not going to say it is or isn't, because while I am a mental health professional, this is not a therapy session. I am not giving mental health advice. I am not your therapist. Though if you tell me you're going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, I will track you down and I will get the popo to your door because I care about you. I have tracked a trucker on the freeway in Washington State from Orlando. I can find you all around the world. I will find you. So, and if you're feeling that way, go somewhere, call somebody, get some help. Don't be alone. Don't be alone. Don't be alone. My mom lived almost 5 years past my dad's death. And I don't think she had very many happy days. She did not cry every day, however, because she did actually get on some antidepressants. She needed them.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. You know,
there is nothing
part of the
wrong
process.
with being on antidepressants unless you're allergic. You know, some people self-medicate with alcohol. The only problem with that, speaking from experience, is alcohol is a depressant. Duh. And so really, you're not helping yourself. You only help yourself go to sleep or feel better momentarily. Pot calling kettle black.
Yep. Nancy says God gave us tears to release all the bad stuff in us.
But at some point, we've got to find a little bit of joy somewhere, somehow. We're human beings, and we've got to find joy somewhere, somehow. For my mom, the joy was in my 5-year-old grandson. He was 6 months old when my dad died. And I do believe if Gavin had not been in our life then, that my mother we would have lost her a lot sooner. I know Gavin gave me my mom for almost 5 years longer. I know that without a doubt. And it doesn't have to be a child. It can be a joy in anything. For me, for a while, it was peach crown. Not healthy. Don't do as I did.
Yep. Cindy says, I never had bad thoughts. I love my children and grandchildren and plan to see them in the summertime. And then Raven says, Cindy, every day will get a bit easier. You can't feel it yet, but it will be little by little. Because she was saying she was feeling angry because she, after she lost her husband, that's what she was feeling.
Anger's normal, yeah.
Yeah, I think anger's pretty normal. Yeah. And, and then Muriel says, only if you could plant them under a protected plant so they can't dig up because we made a comment up there. Brenda says, hopefully being in our quilt group is all joy. Quilters really do care. Yes, we do.
We do care.
All right. Everybody's. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome, welcome. She says, hi, everyone. My grandkids kept me going when I lost both my parents. Kids are such joys.
I think it depends on the kid, though, too. Just say.
Hi, Lee. Welcome, welcome. I'm hearing all these beautiful stories, how your kids, people's kids help them get through the loss of their parents. And there's Myra with the love of her family and everything. And when I hear all this, I have a completely different story than most people. And when I hear all this love and joy, and it makes me a little sad.
Sweetheart. It's okay.
Well, yeah. I have a girlfriend who has a brother that doesn't have anything to do with her. And she goes home every day after teaching kindergarten at 67 and goes home and drinks a little and lays down and goes to sleep. And on the weekend, she goes back into the school and works on school stuff and then goes home, drinks a little and goes to bed. And when we move back here, that friend is going to get out of that habit because I will go and drag her out of her house. She knows it's not healthy. She knows it's not good, but she has no family. She has no Nico to fall back on.
No.
She has no baby girl to fall back on. I invite her to things with our family, but it's not the same because it's not hers, even though she's been around our family for
Yeah.
years and years. And
Maybe
I
her
would get sad too.
Yeah, maybe her being
What?
around your family, maybe her being around your family helped her a lot too, maybe because of the loss of her not having family, you know?
I don't know. I tried.
I apologize for
I've
the
been
whining
told I
dog you
need to
guys
give
hear in the
up on her,
background.
but I won't.
Yep. Felicia says, my condolences to you and your family, Robin. Oh gosh, I didn't know you had a loss in your family, Robin. I'm so sorry. She just lost her uncle
Maybe.
Michael on Monday. Virtual hugs all around, says Brenda.
Yes.
Rita says, I said that because they have been found remains in my backyard from way before I moved this up. Oh my gosh. And Felicia says, we love you, Katie. I love you too. And Robin says, it was a blessing for him. He's not in pain anymore. 3 years battling cancer. Goodness. Cancer is such an evil thing. And Rita says, well, I do not drink, do drugs, or take meds and have become a homebound. And only this year I went to the store, but it was a terrible experience each time. And then Nancy says, Cindy, good, I understand because after all those years, we become one. So we only feel half ourselves. So we have to become our new self. That is such a deep comment and so true.
Yes, beautiful. Well
Yeah.
said.
You know, when I first lost my first husband, you know, I had given him 21 years of my life, and I did, when it was all said and done and it was done, I remember going through different phases, I guess, of the whole situation. And like, what am I supposed to do with myself? I went from being a wife and a housewife and everything else to someone else, and I didn't even know where to start. And Myra and I talked a lot about that kind of thing because there was the times where I was like, what am I supposed to do? You know, what am I supposed to do? Because you know, you took care of your husband, you take care of your man, and you take care of your kids, and then suddenly the kids are out, your husband's dead, and you're all by yourself, and you don't even know what, because you lived this whole life of 21 years of doing what you're supposed to do. So 52 years is a long time, and then become one person again. So I understand the struggle.
I apologize if anybody hears a whining dog in the background. I'm trying desperately to get her to be quiet.
He's fine, Danny.
Just being obnoxious.
I think everybody's got used to Nora being obnoxious, so it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not even noticing, actually. Cindy says, thank you, Nancy. I never thought about becoming a new self. That is such a deep comment, what she wrote. I'll have to write that down.
I'd be quiet.
Anyone else want to share your strategies of getting through the holidays? Share with us so we can talk about it.
Sorry, yelling at a dog.
So,
I did not.
what about new traditions that you can make for yourself or, create with someone else?
I like that.
Have you thought about going to I'm not talking about a nursing home where they're all bed bound, but have you thought about going to senior living facilities or retirement homes and talking to the activities director and maybe volunteering to lead a craft?
Ooh, that could be good.
My sister and I actually are thinking about doing that once a month. I would be doing it where Mother was, and Phyllis would be doing it up in Nebraska. She would find a facility up there. just a way of giving back. My mother was in probably the best retirement senior living facility I've ever seen. That last 48 hours, they would come into the room to check on her and they'd nod to us. Mom was non-responsive with that shallow breathing, with eyes half open, mouth hanging open, and they would go to her bed and they would talk to her like she was just going to sit up and respond. And, you know, Miss Myra, just checking on you, want to make sure you're comfortable. We love you. We're here for you. And for us, my
That's
sister and I have a
lovely.
faith base. So for us, staff would come in and they'd say, we want to pray with y'all. And they would just walk up to us and start praying. And we were okay with that because they knew that we were okay with that. They knew that that wouldn't offend us. And that meant an awful lot to us.
That is a really great place. Yeah.
And Brookdale does not advertise we're a Christian community. Not at all. It's just there are some people who have the same faith that work there. And if they know you have the same faith, you know, and they
They'll
don't
try
think
and
they're
help you
going to
out.
offend you,
That's,
yeah, they'll
that's
love you
really
through
great.
it with prayer or whatever. Of course, they all asked before they ever prayed with us the first time, you know, would you mind if we prayed with you? And of course, we said no, because it doesn't make us uncomfortable. And from
Right.
then on
But I'm
out,
sure
it
some
was,
some people it might.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And like, I'm a huge hugger, but I've got good spidey senses. I know who doesn't like to be hugged, and I don't hug them. I'll just, you know, tap them on the shoulder, or I'll, you know, lean my head toward them and say, consider yourself hugged real tight, you know, because
Yeah.
I want them to know that I'm a hugger, and I would, but I respect their boundaries.
Yeah.
Right.
Cindy says, I'm thinking about finding a quilt group to join now that I have time. I have watched and enjoyed quilting YouTube channels for years. And then I need to go back up to the top because we just made a couple comments. Let's see. Where did it go?
Yeah, quilt group is a great idea, or just, you know, a group in general, something to kind of give you a schedule or keep you a little bit busy so that you're not just focused on, you know, your own sad thoughts.
Yep.
Give yourself a distraction, basically.
Nancy, I appreciate your comment. The thing about going back in the facility, my children's paternal great aunt is there. And one of my dear high school friends' mom is there. And every time I visited mom, I also visited them. So I kind of have to steel myself and go back. I haven't yet, but I got to do it. I got to.
Rita says, I did not grow up with parents. I seen my dad when I was 16 and did not speak to him for 7 years before he passed in 2001. And then she said she found out he had passed 6 months after the fact. Robin says, so what are y'all working on? I came in late. I think Dani aren't you sewing a binding?
I am, and I'm just about finished with it. So I'm actually going to pull out another one here in a minute. But yes, that's what I'm working on. I have to keep busy. I can't just sit. I'm one of those people where I have to keep busy. So I'm listening and participating, but I'm also doing something as well.
Okay. And then Myra, what are you working on? Oh, I'm
actually working on something today. I don't usually, but I actually am. This is straps that I'm going to put those clamp things on, and then it's going to be a key fob or whatever you want to use it for.
Or the room keys at your cruise, right?
Right. Yeah, it's for the people on my cruise. To go in their goodie bags that I'm going to make for them, their shoe bags, if you will.
Hi, hi, Muriel. No, that says Marie. Sorry. Hi, Marie. It's good to see you.
And Rita, I know, but you can consider yourself virtually hugged.
Okay. Myra, from experience, be ready for. Wait, Nancy says, Myra, from experience, be ready for. At first, it's hard to go back into the facility. And then Rita says, no hugs, I am a do not touch me person. And Robin says, I'm with you, Rita. Now, Rita, I'm good. If I ever meet you in person, I'm gonna have to give you a hard time. Let's see. Raven says, I have seen a ladies red hat group. Yeah, I know about them. Actually, someone bought me a red hat cookbook. I don't know if I have it. Yeah. Let's see. I've never been to the group because it's just probably too, you know. She says they go out and
I've seen them in restaurants. They look like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. So they go out and do different outings together. There is a lot of different ladies group you can find. And Nancy says, I love hugs and love giving hugs. Me too. Because I didn't have them before. Me and Nikolai were talking about that thing. Because he's just he's just the affectionate kind of guy.
Yes, he is. And Mr. Wonderful thinks a hug can cure anything, but after my mom died, he was 6 hours away, and he actually didn't come up for a day and a half because I told him that he didn't need to. And so he didn't. And when he got there, he gave me a hug and I started to break down, and then I kind of separated from him and I said, babe, I love you, but I need not to be hugged because I've got a lot to do. Phyllis and I have a lot to do in the next 3 days. And if you hug me, I'm going to go to a puddle.
Yeah.
And I won't be good for anybody. So basically, my husband didn't hold me and comfort me pretty much until the funeral.
Yeah.
But that's what
you know
I
what? He was
needed,
still
and I
doing
just,
that though. He was still comforting you by not
allowing me
doing
that space.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm so grateful that we have the relationship after 23 years that I can say, I need you not. Because he is my comfort and he is my safe place. And if I had let myself fall, really hold on to him before the funeral, we had so much to do. Even though my mom and dad had done already so much, we still had so much to do.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So
Nancy says, Katie, we can put Rita between us and give her a hug sandwich. So I understand about Robin and Rita about not being touched. I love hugs, but when I get out into the public, like the worst environment on the planet is being on an airplane. Because I have to take drugs to fly. It's not about flying. It's about people touching me. And being bumped. They walk down the aisles and when they bump you, they can't even say excuse me or I'm sorry. It's just like, you're invisible to these people when they're on airplanes. It's crazy. And if I bump into someone, I'm saying sorry, and
can I give you a suggestion?
Sure.
And keep up with your drugs. That's a good thing. But you know what I do? When they say, if anybody needs extra time to board, you don't have to tell them your disability. I always go up and I board because I can't stand standing in that line and being butt to back with somebody or nose to back with somebody. And also I always either get a middle or the window seat because I need not to be scratched, especially on this arm that my cat got me last night. And I've been cut and ended up in the hospital for 4 days. So, so when they say anybody that needs special boarding, I go up and they're not allowed to ask you what your disability is or what your issue is. They're only allowed
Really?
to say, do you need
Well, I
extra time to board?
for the last 2 trips to the United States, I started going up there and telling, I need to get on the airplane before everybody else does, or with other people that go on first for their own disabilities. Because I told them that I suffer from an anxiety disorder, which is what it is. And I need
But you don't have to tell them that.
yeah, I didn't know that. I
You
thought
do not have to tell them. I don't mind telling them, but you don't have to.
Hmm.
They're not
That's
allowed to ask.
That's what the drugs are for, is for the anxiety, because I've had a meltdown on an airplane because when I was coming home from the United States, I ended up stuck in the Kangaroo for 18 hours. We were stuck there, and the doctor had only given me enough medication to cover for that last day. So when that medicine ran out, and we went to board on the plane, and instead of let the people that needed to get on first get on there, they just made everybody go at once, and there was all this pushing and shoving going on, and someone was, and I had a seat toward the back of the plane because I was getting on a -8, and there was 2 people back at the back of the plane. They were arguing, and between that and being pushed and being cramped up where I couldn't move, I just literally lost it. Totally lost it.
I love Raven's comment. Airplane seats keep getting smaller, or I've gotten fluffier.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you see the ones?
okay, let me tell you, they literally have gotten smaller.
They have.
They truly have gotten smaller. That is a known fact.
Yes, because then they can fit more seats on the plane.
Right.
That's also why they've cut down on leg room, is so that they can fit more. They can get an extra row of seats in. Sweet.
Yeah, Raven says, I don't understand the pushing and shoving. Everyone's going in the same place. I don't either. It's like it reminds me of a cattle drive where you're pushing all this cattle in one direction, and they literally will run over each other if they have to. And human beings act just like them.
Mm-hmm.
And people like me just can't handle that kind of thing. Let me see. You know what is bad is those goofy electric chairs do not work if you do not weigh enough to push the seat down. I have trouble with them electric chairs.
I'm thinking she means like the electric wheelchairs, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay, because I don't know what she was talking
I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
Rita, can you be a little more specific on what you're talking about?
Maybe the ones at the shopping centers, the electric scooters.
Oh, I didn't know that you have to sit on them for them to run?
My guess is they probably, it's like, it's kind of like the airbags on a car. They have to register a certain weight before they'll turn on, kind of thing. I'm guessing. I don't really know. Excuse me a moment, ladies.
I don't know. I'm confused about that one.
Brenda says, I just watched a YouTube video about passengers' rights.
Huh.
She says,
well, yeah, she made a comment that
oh, I didn't know you had to. Oh, it lifts up. It's the lift up armchair Maria's talking about.
Oh.
I didn't know they had those at the grocery store.
Yeah, Brenda had made the comment that she said you must say you require you require early board, not that you need it.
She says you have to be able to push the seat down before they work. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I've never seen a cart like that, but I am not disbelieving. I just have never seen a cart like that.
Yeah, me neither. That's interesting. I thought you turn a key and make it go move around. Boy. Okay. The other discussion we were going to have was, what was it? Oh, we've kind of been broaching both of them, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
She says
I
when
think
you
we've been
sit
having
on
some great discussion.
yeah, we have. Rita says when you sit on those electric shopping carts, the seat where you sit it has to go down or it won't run. We've never seen those before, Rita. Bonnie
I've
says,
never used one, so I can't say that, you know, I don't know how they work because I've
What
never used them.
store?
Bonnie must have seen them too, because she says, yeah, if you sit on it and then go to reach something, even if you don't move much, it won't run because your weight isn't level on it. Oh, that's interesting.
It makes sense though. That way, you know, little kids can't drive off with them.
Oh. Or maybe we just never noticed it because when we sit down on, I've only ever used it once or twice. Usually I go under my own. I use a buggy.
No key, just a lever to go forward or backward. Oh, Rita, okay. See, the ones in my shopping center, you have to have a key for.
Yeah, the ones I've ever seen had to have a key.
Yeah, that makes sense though. I want this.
Walmart, you don't have a key.
The ones in California did.
Now America knows where I shop. If not, I don't
It's
care.
not a sponsored video.
This is
No,
not
it's not.
Okay. Man, what is the deal with these?
Y'all, my poor husband. Somebody talked about joining a quilt group. So I found this featherweight quilt group up in Mariana, which is about 45 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so you're going to drive all that way up and back once a month? Put those miles
I drive
on the
that way
car?
every day. Tell them I drive 45 minutes one way every day. Every day.
I was like, yes, honey. Yes. As a matter of fact, yes, that's exactly what I intend to do. He gets on these tangents that I don't understand.
I have a 45-minute commute,
you know,
to my job every day.
It's the same thing as him driving all the way to
it
Disney.
doesn't bother him to drive an hour 15 to go to Disney. Now, does it, baby?
That's what I was about to say.
What?
It's no different than driving to Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to take an hour and a half to go.
Make sense to drive an hour and 15 to go to Disney.
Yeah, it does. But you said it doesn't make any sense to drive 45 to go to Mariana. Come say hello to everybody.
Hey,
All the
Mr.
time.
Wonderful.
Howdy.
Hi, Bill. You doing all right?
I must not be real wonderful because I go to Disney but don't want to go to Mariana.
Well, I don't want you to go to Mariana. I'm going to Mariana. What happens when you come in to a conversation that started without you? Eh?
That's right. He only heard part of the conversation.
Bless his little heart.
Myra, where is Mariana? Robin wants to know.
Mariana is straight north of Panama City on the way to Dothan, Alabama. Woo!
I thought that's where it was at. I couldn't remember because I think I've been to Mariana.
Knock him off. He should not be. Thank you.
Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. Someone asked me a question. Oh, Robin, I'm working on my dragon fruit. And if you weren't here last night, let me show you something.
Bill, you can have my shrimp scampi for supper. I'm gonna have my red beans and rice. So I'm gonna have my red beans and rice so you can have shrimp scampi. You're welcome.
Let's see. This is
Love you.
This was finished yesterday.
Ooh,
that is so cool. I love the little mini Log cabin over there on the left. That must have been a lot of work.
Actually, I'm having fun with this paper piecing. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm getting better at it. But do you see these triangles right here, or this flying geese right here?
Yeah.
This fabric here was supposed to be here, and this was supposed to be here. And when I was looking at the book, I'm like, that makes no sense to have it that way. So I switched it, and I
There you
love
go.
it like
You
that.
took creative liberties.
Yeah, I did. So I don't know how it's going to affect the whole overall look of the quilt, but I don't care. My granddaughter's going to love it.
That looks beautiful. That looks like, is that Kate Fassett?
No, that's Tula Pink.
Tula Pink.
I'm sorry, Tula Pink. You know, I'm not a Tula girl, but my granddaughter will love it because she's artistic like my oldest daughter. So,
gotcha.
Hey sis, can you spotlight me so that I can show you guys the funeral home facility, or the thing where Mom was?
Sure.
This is what we did for my mom. Let me move this out of the way.
Oh, look at the quilts. That's amazing.
Those are quilts that my mom and dad made.
They made
wow.
Hang on. Here's more.
Wow.
So this one was pieced, but that's a cheater.
That's a cheater. She's
hang on. Let's see.
Oh, look at that. Wow, those are huge log cabins. Wow.
Wow.
On all of the chairs, putting together.
How many were there?
There were 20, and then we did not have a centerpiece on her casket. We opted to have one of the quilts that she made, and
oh, that's beautiful.
Hang on, I'm going to show it to you.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
That is really
and all
beautiful.
Those people in the back are either grandsons or husbands of granddaughters, the 6 pallbearers.
Wow.
I have a question. Did you guys wrap her up in burial too?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because some people do that.
I'm greedy. We're not burying one of their precious quilts. We're giving them to all the grandkids. And hang on. Let me show you this. This is my mama when she was healthy. Let's see. How am I going to? Hang on. Let's see. How can I get y'all to see it good?
Turn your brightness down on your phone.
Turn the what?
I think you could turn the brightness down on your phone. It might work.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Where might brightness be?
Under settings, if you have, I think you gotta get to where all of those buttons are for your settings.
Yeah, I'm sure I have my brightness up pretty darn high because here in Florida, actually I don't, but let's see if that'll help.
Might help.
While you're
all right, let me do this, and then if this doesn't work.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
It was for just a minute. Anyway, that's my mama with her natural curly, natural red hair.
Okay, I got to answer some questions in the chat.
Okay, take me off spotlight.
Yep,
Thank
I
you.
did.
Thank you very much.
Let's see. Wait.
Bonnie, Mom never mentioned being buried in one, so and they had discussed what they wanted at their funeral. So that's why we didn't.
So Photo by Day
So-
says, hi, Katie and everyone. Then Robin says, Myra, where's Mariana? Which you answered. Nancy says, it's a man thing. Hey, Jennifer. She says hello to everyone else. And then Bonnie says, that's the only reason he said it was too far to drive it, because he didn't want to go. Nancy says, we used to live in Mariana at the campgrounds. And Photo by Day says, pretty Katie. And Robin says, I was here last night. Yep, you were. All your blocks have been coming out amazing, Katie, and I love all the colors of all your quilts. Thank you, Bonnie. Katie says, Robin asked, did I find those flying geese? Okay, I figured out what the deal was with the flying geese. Do you remember? I think you were here the other day when I told you that I had missed, when I was doing these flying geese, I miscut up here on one side of the flying geese, which chopped it off. And then when I went to look for the fabric, this fabric, I realized I didn't have enough to make a 7¼ by 7" square for these flying geese. So I had to call Fat Quarter Shop and I talked to, I think it was Cheryl or somebody, and told her what had happened. And so a half a yard is on its way to me so that I can make those two flying geese I currently don't have, because I got 3 of these sewn, but I can't sew the 4th one because I don't have flying geese. And then Rita made a comment about my flying geese. Where is that at? She said, so you switched it so the flying birds are upside down. No, this is the way the block is supposed to look. What I switched was the fabric. This lighter color was supposed to be in the center and the darker color on the outside. And that darker color has lines on it. See it? So I put the darker in the middle and the lighter on the outside, because to my brain, I think it looks better that way. And then Cindy says, Katie, your blocks are looking pretty and love the bright colors. Thank you. Then Bonnie says, that was amazing for you guys to do that, Myra. Beautiful quilt. That's a lot of quilts. I love that.
Yes, Bonnie, yes.
I wish I could have one.
Bonnie, people that attended and then came back to the house after the all the services were over, we had whoever wanted to come back because the church had provided food and we still had food left over from the day before. And that's what you do in the South. You come to the house. And so anyway, people commented that they felt like they had been wrapped up in Mom and Dad's love, because a lot of the funeral message was about how Mom was now back with Dad, and how you never saw Dad without Mom right there. You never saw Mom without Dad. You know, they were such a devoted couple, especially, you know, toward the end and end of their life. So yeah, it really was, it was nice for all of us.
Rita says she changed the color, so does that mean they fly upside down? You're so funny. Oh, my comedian.
We love our Robin.
Yes, Brenda says, I want to have one of mine with me. I told my husband that I want to be dealt with in a different way. I don't want to be put in the ground. Burn me and put my
ashes and go on top of my husband.
Take my ashes and cast them to the ocean. That's what I want. Let's see. And they're going to get a crematorium in Nuke. So that's an excellent news. So at least I know what will happen to me if I die first. This is what I told him, and I've told the kids the same thing. I said, when I pass, you cremate me, go to the ocean and do what I want. And then I don't want y'all having any kind of service or anything like that. I want you to go out and have a party. That's what I want them to do. Go out and do something fun.
That is the service.
Yeah.
That is the service, Sissy.
Yeah. No church services, no nothing. Just go have fun. When your phone first turns on, go to the very top and gently pull it down. Face page, and
They're still trying to help me get it together.
And then just as my quilts told my hubby if he gets rid of them, I would haunt him, ha ha. And then Brenda says, I've been trying to avoid the fire my whole life.
Yeah, Brenda. Southern Baptist conversion right here. And the 10 years old. If that Southern Baptist preacher in Muldoon Southern Baptist Church in Anchorage, Alaska had said, run down that center aisle naked, baby, I'd have been disrobing. I didn't want to burn.
You know, they use fear to get you to join their church.
Well, it worked, but I didn't stay with their church.
You're going to burn in hell if you don't go to church.
No, you're not. I don't go to church and I'm going to heaven.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to burn in hell because you don't go to a man's
Oh, you're
church.
not going to. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that little disclaimer.
No. Wait. I originally said, yeah, they used fear by saying you're going to burn in hell if you don't get into church. My opinion is you don't need their church and you can still go to heaven.
Yes.
You don't need to be in some man's church listening to all that stuff and using fear to get you to stay there.
No, but for a lot of people, assembling with those of like precious faith is a good thing. It helps.
You know, I
Not
love
my cuppa right now, but
yeah.
but for some, I mean.
You know, I loved the church before I left it, so it wasn't about the people, the congregation itself, the reason I left. But when you leave
or is it Jaja?
Hey, Jaja.
Jaja. Sorry.
I just saw the brownie. That's all I saw.
What?
In the Jaja, it says Jaja brownie. All I saw was the brownie.
Yeah, I don't know what the brownie part means, but sweet. Anyway, let me see here. Okay. All right. Now I had another thing I wanted to mention to you guys while we're having our discussion is my question was for the group that's here right now, when you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, what do you do to push through it yourself if you have no one to help you push through? What strategy do you use? Now I did see earlier in the chat where some people say I don't have any strategies. But do any of you actually have strategies that you use for yourself when it's just you and yourself? I'm curious to see what y'all do.
I start mentally listing the things that I can be grateful for. Because if I get myself into an attitude of gratitude, that will bring me out of my funk.
Yeah. Okay, and the other question I was going to ask you guys is, because we're approaching the holidays, how are you feeling today? Any changes in mood and energy lately? Let's see if anybody has any comments for that question as well. Felicia says she prays to God. Jaja says it's probably not the best, but I get a sweet treat. Yeah, I do too. Ice cream seems to be my thing. And then Raven says, I sew and think in silence. I sew and turn the music up loud. As loud as possible, actually, so I can sing to it. Because something about singing and listening to music helps me get out of a funk too. The last question was, Nancy, since we're approaching the holidays, how are you feeling today? Any changes in mood or energy lately?
Well, my moods have been on a roller coaster for obvious reasons, so there you are.
I can't even imagine what you still got a lot to go through too. Can I be nosy?
Of course you can.
I know you're going to sell your house and you're going to move into your mom's house. So are you and your family going through your, how do I put this delicately? I know you have to go through your mama's things, what she had. So how are you handling that? And because I don't even know how to ask it exactly.
Just ask it.
As a family, are y'all doing this together, or is all this pressure just on you, Myra?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. My family had a situation quite a few years ago where my father outlived his brother and his father, and his father's will said, if one of the boys die before me, then the surviving son gets it all.
Ouch.
Clear cut. Well, my dad came to my sister and I and said, I'm going to give your cousin Rhonda and your cousin Van their father's share of the very small inheritance that we're getting. It was like $20,000. That was it. But he was going to give them each, or maybe it was 30,000. He was going to give them each $7,500. Even though he didn't have to, he was going to. Well, my papa wasn't buried 2 weeks before my daddy got a letter from an attorney saying that Van and Rhonda wanted their share of the inheritance. My dad went to an attorney. The attorney said, Mr. Terry, you don't owe them a dime. You can pay me $1,500 and they will get nothing. Or you can offer them $1,500 and maybe they'll go away. So my dad offered them $1,500 and they took $750. And if they had just kept their mouths shut, they would have gotten $7,500.
Wow.
So when that happened, my sister and I, who were young adults, said to our parents, you will never, ever, not ever have to worry about any of that with Phyllis and I. We will never fight over anything. And we have stuck with that. And so now in January, my sister is going to come down from Nebraska, and she and I are going to go through the house and take what we want. And I've told Phyllis that the way I feel about it is because she's the oldest, she gets first pick. No arguing, no fussing. If we both want the same thing, it's hers. Period. And I'm not going to argue with her. That's the way it's going to be. Period. Yeah. And so that takes all the weight about fussing or fighting. Now, there is one thing in this house that I would fight her about, but she only jokes that she would choose that. And it's a stupid thing. It's a old-fashioned coffee grinder, but that's the only thing I had to play with at my grandparents' house in Alabama because they were such older grandparents. But anyway, so, but there's nothing else in this house that is worth the relationship my sister and I have. So that's just the way we're going to do it. And then anything that we don't want, we will offer to the grandchildren in age order, and anything left to the greats in age order. And then anything left, we're going to sell or give away. So that's how that's going to go.
Who's going to get your mama's sewing machine?
My sister is going to get my mother's Janome, which is a newer Janome than I have with my dad's, but I don't care. My sister's letting me keep the pedal singer that my dad refurnished. And actually, he told me that he refurnished it for me, but he obviously didn't. He didn't tell my mother and my sister that. So I didn't say a word, but Phyllis is like, you love singers, you keep the singer. And I was like, yes. So.
All right. Nancy answered my question. She says, I'm nervous because my son and wife are getting a divorce, but for the kids, we are still having dinner at their house. And that was an answer to change of energy and stuff. And then Rita says, Nancy, it is for the kids though, which is a good thing. And she says, yes, Rita. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. She said, Raven says, my grandparents put our names on the bottom of what we wanted.
Well, we asked my mother to do that if there was anything that she wanted certain people to have, and she never did it. My youngest child would, if she wanted something, she asked mom for it and usually got it. So, and that's fine because it's fine. She wanted my dad's Shriner hat. And that's okay. I don't mind that. My mom and dad helped raise her junior and senior year. So, that was okay. She had my dad was the only father figure in her life from the time she was 7 years old until he died. So, that was fine. Mother has Fitz and Floyd pieces. Do y'all know what that is?
No.
Hang on.
Those aren't the clowns, are they?
No.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, some kind of Art Deco
Stuff like this.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Anyway, and they were quite pricey. They're still quite pricey, but none of us want them.
Maybe you can
No.
Get them priced out and sell them to an antique store or something like that.
Through a what?
Maybe you can take them to an antique store and get them priced out.
Mother has a lot of evening gowns because she and dad were very active in the shrine, and their fraternal organization, had balls and stuff like that. There's a consignment store here in town that is also a bridal store.
Mm.
With brand new bridal dresses, right, and prom dresses, but they also have consignment bridal and consignment evening gowns. And so we're going to take mom's evening gowns there. So hopefully that'll work. I wish I could fit in them because some of them, my mother did not have old lady taste. She had really good taste in clothes. But yeah, not going to happen.
Rita says, I have to say that my stuff is well, getting rid of it beforehand, no one to give it to afterwards. Oh. Hey, sweetie, sissy, I might be coming to the United States after all, just not before QuiltCon. I might be coming in March.
We might be living permanently here. My hope is that we will be living here permanently February, latest March. But we have a guest room.
Okay. I got to take care of my driver's license and make an appointment for the Social Security office because I need to get some things dealt with on that. And then if you're not busy or something, because I plan on I'm going to go see Thomas and Blaze and spend a couple days there. But I was thinking, if Bill doesn't mind you taking off for a few days, would you drive with me to North Carolina?
Ooh, what's in North Carolina?
I'm going to bring Abby's quilt top, and 2 other quilt tops with me because I'm going to have Sherry quilt them for me, and she's in Sherry lives just outside of Raleigh along with Jess and Shonda, and you've met Shonda on the sew.
Yeah.
And so I thought if we went up, when I take the quilt tops up to Sherry, maybe we could do something with the 3 of the ladies too. And I would have a second driver because I want to rent a car, and just we drive up, and it's I think it's going to be about from from where they are based on the hours between Thomas and them, it's like 6 hours or something like that by driving. So if I had a second driver, we could scooter poot all the way up and take our sweet time. I'd come back from Georgia. I'd come back from Georgia down to you, and then we would take off and go to North Carolina.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, because I can't decide. I'm thinking what I need to. Well, I don't know exactly which week of March I'm going to go, but if it's like a couple weeks before my birthday, because my birthday's in March on the 26th, and I need to get my license renewed before my birthday. So I was thinking if it's like 2 weeks before my birthday, I could fly to California, do what I need to get done over there, and then come back to Florida, and then do the rest of what I plan on getting done then. It'll be enough time to get my license renewed and then make a trip up to Georgia and then up to Raleigh and, come back. And we can like spend a couple nights up there in a hotel or something, or Airbnb, whatever. If you're up for that way, I have a second driver and I'm not driving by myself. Katie, I would
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, because that's the only thing is, I don't mind driving by myself, but when it goes longer than 4 hours, that means I probably will get tired. And I don't want to just
No
drive.
worries.
You know me, let's do the 6 hours and get it over with, And maybe on the way back from North Carolina, we can make a slight detour to Charleston, South Carolina. And let me check that off my bucket list because that's my birth town. And the Navy base is where I was born. So I at least want to see what it looks like,
I've been there. We can go.
Okay. It's too bad I can't go on base, but
Yes, you can. Yes,
Wow.
you can.
Because hey, I want to show you something.
I have a military ID card, sweetheart. We can go on any base in America.
Yep. You want to see something that's a relic of the past of being on the Navy base, being born on the Navy base? Let's see, where did I put it? I still have it. My mom gave it to me because it was given to her when I was born on the base. Now, I don't know if my other sister has one too, because she was born 9 months later there too.
Rita, let's pretend we did and not, okay? Let's pretend you drove and but not.
Yep. Because I don't want to. Looky here.
Oh my word.
See that?
She wasn't hatched, y'all. Look, she wasn't hatched.
I know, but look, it's got the picture of the hospital and everything. But that's on the Navy base.
Hopefully they haven't torn it down.
What I heard was they turned it into an administration building, but it says United States Naval Hospital on it. That is a collectible.
It's a pretty naval station, sis.
Yeah,
it's very pretty. Bill and I toured it.
Well, if I'm allowed on the base, I would love to see it. And maybe we could find out about whether the building is still intact or not. Because I would love to see where I was born.
Where I was born was torn down after Hurricane somebody.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on if the hurricane wrecked that part of the Navy base or not, I guess.
No, I don't feel like it would have.
I don't think so either, because they're, But if you can get me on the base, I would love that.
Not a problem, Bob.
Because I just want to see. I can't help it. It's the one thing I think is a big deal, when you get to be born on a Navy base,
My sister and I went and saw where my mother and father got married.
Oh, yeah?
In Bainbridge, Georgia. Yeah.
I have no idea where my mom and dad got married at, actually. I don't know. That's a really good question because my mom and dad met each other in Fort Lauderdale because dad was, I guess, he must have been down in the Keys doing training or something is how they met because he was in the Navy. He got in the Navy at 17 years old because they lied about his age. He was trying to escape his drunk father, I guess. So his aunt lied
Um,
about his age, and he got in the Navy young.
Rita, let me tell you what happens when you can't see and you drive, as evidenced by my brother-in-law who couldn't see out of one eye at all because of diabetes before he had a surgery and barely could see out of the other. You ran into the back of someone.
My mother was
So
blind.
yeah, seeing is just a little important.
Yeah.
Just saying. Unless you have a Tesla, don't they drive themselves?
Even
Yes,
Tesla's.
but apparently not very well because the gentleman
I was
that
just
fell
gonna
asleep
say
in the
Tesla's great
driver's
too.
seat. Yeah, a gentleman fell asleep in the driver's seat of a Tesla here in Chicago and managed to sideswipe all of the cars all the way down the road. So apparently they don't see very well.
Jaja says drive 6
Wow.
more hours here and you'll be in Washington. Hey, if we drove to Washington, the only thing I really would want to see in Washington is the Smithsonian and the botanical gardens they have up there.
Yeah, but you could
That's
spend 3 days in the Smithsonian's.
I know. I've heard it's huge.
It's
But
wonderful.
It would be fun doing it because I think I would love it.
I guarantee you would love it.
Yeah, because that's what I'm interested in. And I like old architecture. When I was in New York City, oh my God, Myra, there was old buildings where it was granite walls and they had these carvings in it. It was amazing. And then that big cathedral church that's right in Manhattan. Holy crap. And I could kick myself. I didn't think you could go inside a cathedral, so I never tried to go in there. And later, I guess a year after I'd been to New York, he says, I see you took pictures of the cathedral. Did you go in? I said, no, I didn't think I could. He says, woman, you could have walked right in. I'm like, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Because the
Marie, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Huh?
Marie said she had to go. She said, good job on your bindings, Danny. Thank you very much for that, Marie. Have a great day.
Who's leaving?
Marie H.
See you later, Marie. Thank you for coming in.
So, Katie, in Washington, D.C., they have the National Cathedral. The architecture in there, the wood, oh my word. It's awesome, inspiring, inspirational. It's just fabulous.
Yeah. I'll have to make extra time to do something like that when so Nikolai, so here's what's happened. Nikolai's gonna be here at the house because that's why it's gonna be March, because he'll be off the boat, and he's gonna take care of Norris and send me to the States to take care of my business. And so I'm going to make sure that I see all the kids and the grandkids, and I'm going to send all of my stuff that's in both our houses home. Because I have fabric in Kristen's house, I have fabric in Lynette's house, and then I'm going to pay a bit for my storage unit, and I'm going to take some stuff out of there. Right now, I'm going to have a discussion with Sean, because Sean works for it's a container shipping company, and we might be able to set me up with a pallet and just take and build a pallet out of my storage unit and send that stuff home. I won't be able to empty bedroom suit in there. I don't want that here so bad, but let's get some of my boxes out of there first. I have a 100-year-old trunk that my mom must have knew that I wasn't going to get anything when she passed. You know what she did? About 3 or 4 years after Larry died, she calls me. She says, you know that trunk that you've been bugging me for years that you want it? Yeah. I'm going to give it to you. And I'm like, what? Really? She gave me that 150-year-old trunk. Huge.
Wow.
Kind of had
Rita, I'm sorry that you have those things affecting your eyes.
So that's sitting in the storage unit with all my pictures inside of it, because that's the safest place. I had to put all my photographs and everything in because I knew nothing could get into it. Sounds like you need to get that craft room done. Yeah, y'all. I promise when Nikolai gets home, we're gonna get on that. I keep saying that, but we finally got the living room set so we can use it as a staging thing. And Melanie's been after me too. You got that staging place done. Start unloading that room. I was like, I don't wanna. I walked in there the other day looking for something, and I'm thinking, gosh, there's gonna be some more garbage bags going out of my sewing room because there's nothing I can do about the glass that's all over it, you know. Can't get it out, not the small stuff. But I think I have a formulate. I think I formulated how I want to reset the room because I'm not going to set it back up the way it was. And I'm going to have one hell of a design wall on one side of it. It's going to be long design wall. The whole entire the wall where the window got took out, and we didn't put the window back. That whole wall I'm going to turn into a design wall.
There you go.
And that means I can have more than one project on that design wall. Sounds like you need to get that. Yeah. So and
Katie, I've got a hard stop at about 5:30, so about 15 more minutes, if that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. I forgot to ask
No,
you about
my fault. I forgot to tell you. So about 15 minutes, 5:30.
Okay. How long have we been going now?
Almost 2 hours.
Oh, so we've met our quota. Katie, you can come and do my craft room if you want to. I don't think so. I can't even get my own done. But I would love to visit you though. Linda says, I am making over my sewing room. Can't wait for it to be done. I'm hoping that when we get the room completely emptied out, except for the shelves, and we're going to change the size of my cutting table. We're going to cut the L part off of it because I have an idea about putting this desk, because this desk that I have my sewing machine on, I want to get another desk and put it in front of it. And then when Nikolai comes in building, he can sit down instead of standing up. And when he's not here, I can clear off the top of it. And when I'm sewing a bigger, quilting a bigger quilt, I'll have all that space in front of me and not be all scrunched up. And then Rita says, I am going to move my craft room to the area in the front of the house. Oh, cool. So what's your next, when's your next live, Danny?
I'm gonna actually try to do one for Black Friday, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, so this coming Friday. I'm gonna try to do one on Friday. I don't have it on my schedule yet, because I haven't really thought it through entirely, but I'm gonna try. But no matter what, I will definitely have one on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. We're gonna be finishing up our Norfolk quilt. It's a block of the month program that I've been working on, and I'm at a point where it's now time to put all the blocks together. So I'm really excited about that. We'll be doing that on Sunday, which will likely roll over into Monday because I'm pretty sure it's going to take me about 3.5 or 4 hours to put that one together. So we'll probably roll that one over. We've got a bunch of new projects that are going to be coming up here on the channel because we're finishing up a bunch of things, which is really exciting. So we're going to be starting a bunch of new stuff. I got a couple of block of the month programs that we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a block of the month program exclusively with my members. So if that's something that interests you and you've got a couple of bucks every month to spare, you're welcome to do that as well. We're also doing a sew along over on my channel, not for members, but for everybody, subscribers as well. It's a really quick and easy pattern called Framed Pinwheels by Missouri Star Quilt Company. We're going to be working on that once a month. It's the third Sunday of every month. That's going to be a lot of fun. We just started that this past couple weeks ago, so that's really exciting. A lot of fun there too. So just, a lot of fun things, a lot of, different projects where I'm at that point in my channel where we're kind of rolling over the old stuff and bringing in the new. And that's kind of what happens. It seems like all of these projects finish at about the same rate. And my channel is set up differently than most in that I don't work on the same thing every week because I get bored very easily. So every week we work on something different, but it's like a rotation of projects. So I think I have 6 or 8 projects going at one time. And every week we rotate in a different one that we worked on like last month or the month before. It bugs some people because it takes us a really long time to finish things, but it helps me stay focused. And it makes it so that I never get bored. And if I get frustrated with a project, it's okay because I'm going to put it away and not look at it again for another month anyway.
You know
So,
what?
that's a lot of fun.
Yep. And I just realized if I go to the United States, I better have some pre-records for my channel. I just realized that because normally,
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
yeah, that would be a good idea because normally I do lives Thursday, Friday, and Saturday religiously, and I can't imagine doing without. That would kill my channel, I think, because it's doing so good right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that might be it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, it sounds like it could be it as well.
All right,
The
everybody
disappearing
mark.
eye patch with pinwheels.
Everybody mark your calendars for our next Peace of Mind Mending Pieces. Will be December the 7th at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendar for that. We are going to
double check, make sure I got it.
Yeah, I think you did because we
I think
made
so
that.
too, but I'm just gonna double check.
So mark your calendar for that. And while she's looking it up, we will be discussing New Year's coming up at the new year. We'll be talking about that.
December 7th, you said?
Yes, that's what I have
I
down
did
here.
not have that on my. No, that's totally fine. I just
Oh,
for
that's
whatever reason I
wrong.
didn't have it on my calendar, so it's totally fine.
Oh, wait, no, we don't have. Wait, y'all don't put that on your calendar. Sorry, that's something
That's
else.
okay.
That's right,
Like I
because
said, I don't.
you weren't sure which Sunday you had free in December. Do you have that set up now?
I do have it set up right now, and I am free
We
any
could do the
Sunday.
14th. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it the 21st.
21st?
Is that too close to Christmas for you?
No, it's fine.
All right, let's do it because we're good. Because it'll be right.
You guys heard it here live. We're doing it on the 21st.
Yeah, mark your calendar for December the 21st. I don't know why I said the 7th, dadgummit. Mending Pieces. That'll be right before Christmas, and that'll help cover between Christmas and New Year's because I want to talk about we're going into the new year, and some people make resolutions, some of us don't. And see how everybody's doing, getting so close to holidays and everything too.
Yeah.
We could talk about all that. And you mentioned a couple topics, didn't you? And let me go look at your email.
I emailed them to you. You don't need to read it now. You can read it later. But yes, I did email you a couple things, just some thoughts. Like you can totally override them if you need to or whatever.
No, I'm not going to override nothing. All right, and I have one more question for you guys, and I need all of y'all that are still here who has come to all of these Peace of Mind meetings. Have you guys enjoyed I think this is let me see when I have to look. We're 8 months in, yeah. So about 8 months in now. I'm satisfied with how they've been going. I'm learning a lot from Sissy, and Sissy's been giving lots of great information.
Oh yeah.
And have you enjoyed it is the first question. And the second question is there anything that we have not discussed yet that you would like for us to broach when have our, for future topics? If you have a topic, you can either share it here now, or if you don't know, if you want to think about what topics you would like to discuss, I'll put my email address up here, and you can email me what you think we could talk about, and we'll put it on the list as a discussion because we want to have more feedback from all of y'all.
Yes.
Because the more we talk about this stuff, the more we get to know each other on this level, because this is a whole different level. We've gotten to know each other on the sewing level and the crafting level, and we've made friends and we have a community. And now I'm trying to build this little community so people have a safe place to come. And yeah, I would like to have a little bit of feedback. And I thought about doing a Google form, but I don't know if people will take the time to fill out a form and say, well, I like this about it, I didn't like this about it, or I would love it if you discuss this in a topic, I would love that feedback because I think that'll help us get better at doing this because right now we're just learning how to do this. Right, Myra? Pretty much.
Right.
We're winging it.
We're in
Winging it.
yeah, we're in the learning process right now. So any feedback's great. So email me if you want to, if there's a topic we haven't discussed you want to talk about, or if you have ideas of future discussions that you've thought of that we haven't thought of, put that in the email. And if I don't get any emails, what I do is I might make a form and ask you to fill out the form. I'm sorry.
All that talking at once.
You know, it's itching in there. I'm wondering, you might be right. I might be catching a cold. Because it would help a lot if we had more feedback. Because we want to make sure that we're not missing. And
we want it relevant to each of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't give us feedback to let us know what you feel we could do better, you know, what may have offended you or what didn't sit right with you or what we did well or future topics that you've always wondered about but were afraid to bring up. You know, I'm only the expert on me, but I'm here for you the best that I can be, and we want this to be profitable for everybody. And I don't mean financially. I mean, I want this to be good for everybody.
Yeah, because that's our goal here. Because the more we work together to build this little community of discussion, the easier it will be for people to want to talk about things they may not normally want to talk about, or want to come forward and say, you know, I suffer. Here's a good example. Someone may never say that I'm depressed because, you know, a lot of people don't share that. And maybe by building this community in such a way that it's open, maybe someone who wants to talk about it can talk about it and we can help. Raven says maybe some journaling exercises to help through the holidays. Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's a real good one. Let me write that down.
I'll work on that.
Katie, did you see Joyce's super chat there?
Thank you, Joyce, for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. Oh, we won't talk about this. I have an idea to handle about that too, but I'll talk about that later. Thank you so much, Joyce. Journaling exercises to help the holidays.
Robin, I so agree with you. I do not do resolutions either because I actually do resolutions every morning. Lord, don't let me kill anybody today. Let me be kind. Let them see you and me. Yeah, those are my resolutions.
And I agree with her because the reason I don't set up resolutions is because it sets me up for failure every freaking time.
I don't set up resolutions. Yeah, I don't set resolutions. I set goals.
Yeah,
Good job.
So one little thing I was going to share with you guys. I was watching one of my videos which was at the beginning, was in January of last year, of what I was. It may have been the first week of January or it was the last week in December. I don't remember which. And I had an outline of what I wanted to accomplish for 2025. And they were goals. And I said, and I also wrote a blog about it. And I said, if I accomplish at least 70% of that, that's something.
Oh, 100%. I do that every year on my channel.
Accomplish all 100% of it. But any part of that list, that outline I wrote, if I accomplished it, it was a win. And so I'm going through like, oh my God, there was some I see where I didn't even do it at all. And then
I do that every year on my channel.
So, you know, and it was not a resolution because I didn't want to involve myself in that because it's easy for me to fall off the wagon and just not do it at all, you know.
For sure. Yeah, over on my channel, the very first live stream that I do every year is not a sewing live stream. It's a goal live stream. It's where we set the goals for the year. And I actually write them out and I put them on the screen for everybody to see them. And then after the live stream, I print them up and I hang them in my room here.
Mhm.
And those are my goals for the year. And they could be anything from a subscriber count to projects I'm working on to a website or whatever it might be. It's specific to the channel, but it's a goals for me, so that anytime that I'm in the middle of the year and I'm just like, I've got so much stuff going on, like, where do I start? What do I do? That's where I go. I go there and I look and I go, what didn't I check off yet? What haven't I checked off? And the other thing is when I finish these things, I check them off the list. Or even if I start them, maybe the goal is just to start it. Maybe it's not even to finish it. Maybe it's just to start it. I'll check it off the list. And then at the last live stream I do at the end of the year, beside the fact that I do a bunch of giveaways because I love doing that, we go back through the goals and we look at what we did, and we talk about what did we accomplish, what didn't we accomplish, what do we need to roll over to the next year, what was just a completely unrealistic goal for us, and how did we feel about those things, how did we do. And that's just something I do on my channel that has nothing necessarily to do with mental health. That's more for me, but I think it helps other people too. And I encouraged my subscribers this year, make a list for yourself. Make a list for yourself, print it up if you can. If you can't print it, handwrite it on a piece of paper, handwrite it on the back of a receipt, whatever you got to do, handwrite it somewhere, hang it up and look at it. Look at it every once in a while when you're like, what am I going to do this year? Where am I going to be? It kind of goes along with make a list, you know, it's kind of the same thing. So I don't set resolutions, I set goals. Because resolutions are a form of a goal, but sometimes they're worded weird, and they, like you said, they set you up to fail. Like, I'm going to lose weight. No, I'm going to help myself feel healthier. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat, 2 vegetables a day instead of I'm going to exercise every day or things like this. I set myself realistic goals, and then I set some ones that are a little bit off kilter, so that at least I'm checking some things off the list, but not everything, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. I'm beginning to think that, I made a list myself recently that has to do with trying to get everything ready for us to empty out the craft room. And I think that the list is going to be my go-to these days, because every time I check off something I've done, it's like, oh, I accomplished one more thing.
Yeah.
And that is more, it seems to be more doable for my brain and my emotions than setting a sky high goal. I know I'll never, not goal, but resolution or whatever. And so when I was looking at my video, that I was like, I did all of this. So I'm going to share it on a live, go back through the list and say, we accomplished this, 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 and this, and this. And,
I think it's great.
Now I have to make a new list for 2026 of what I want to do. I'm still trying to figure out projects and stuff, but I also want to, there's some things I feel like I need to, because I'm not young anymore, and I need to try to, maybe get out and walk 3 times a week, because I'm not doing that enough. And, take the dog for a walk, or try to eat better, because there's days when I don't eat all damn day, which is not
so
healthy.
One of the things that I don't mean to interrupt you, but speaking of going out for a walk and things like that, you and I both have memberships, right? You have memberships on your channel, you have members on your channel.
Yep.
One of the things, I have a lot of gaming friends that have been on YouTube for a really long time, and I kind of look to them for guidance and things on some of the things that they do. Now, not everything works in a gaming community that works in a quilting community. But one of the things that one of my close friends did is he used the memberships as a way for him to force himself to go on a walk every day. He made a goal with his members only, that he would vlog with them every day when he was walking. So he would actually record from his cell phone while he was walking. And that not only did that give his members more content, but it also gave him a goal that now people are relying on him to do this. Yeah. And so it kind of puts him a little bit on the hook about people are relying on you to do this. You feel almost obligated to do it, but it's also getting you outside as well. And so by the time he forced himself and got into the habit of doing it, it no longer became an obligation. Now it became something he enjoyed doing. So just a thought to throw out there for you.
Okay. Rita says, I do not journal, but write poetry and have a few poems that were published and are in the International Poet Society in the Library. I have some poetry I've written, Rita. I'll have to show it to you. Bonnie says, That's awesome, Rita. And then Rita says, my daily goal, walk without falling down or running into a wall. Honey, yes, but that's the fact. Yep, we know. And Rama says, I do what I feel like doing, nothing more, nothing less. And then Denise says to Robin, I'm with you. She says she's too damn old at this point for lists or plans. Thank God to let me wake up today. And then Robin says, my goal for today is to put 5 more hexagons on this diamond. I will have 45 hexagons today. Hey, I got your pictures, Robin, and that will be shown on the 29th. Oh, reminder, if you haven't heard this, make sure you either email me, and I'm going to put my email back in here again. If you're not a Facebook user, email me your pictures of your projects, because I'm honoring you guys on the 29th of November. When I do the giveaway, I will also be doing a trunk show of all the viewers who share their work. And it doesn't have to be just quilting. It can be quilting, crocheting, painting,
I'm gonna be
any
there in a
craft.
minute.
And we're going to do a trunk show for that whole period of that live on the 29th to honor all of you and for everything, you know, you do for me by being here and everything. So that's what I want to do.
Sis, you remember my Christmas quilt
Yeah.
and how I was going to hand do, I was just going to like, put the buttons on it. Well, my sister's bonus daughter that was 16 when she married my sister, or when she married the daughter's father. I don't want to say stepdaughter, but okay, the stepdaughter, who's now like 50. She is a professional quilter and has 2 different long arms, but she doesn't use she does not use a computer. She does it all herself.
Wow.
And my sister talked me into showing her my first quilt. And she was so kind and so sweet. And she said, well, why don't, and she said, well, how are you going to finish it? And I showed her and told her, and she said, well, that'll be real cute. That'll be fine. But if you want me to take it and do something. And then she told me all the things that she was thinking of. And I just grabbed it all, put it in the bag and handed it to her because she's not going to charge me for this one.
Oh, that's
Wow.
so awesome.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
lady,
Yeah.
welcome.
I won't get it back until February though, but that's okay.
It's okay.
That's all right.
Robin wanted you to know that she sent a bunch of pictures of her diamonds from her EPP that she's been doing. Remember those 12,000 hexagons she's done? She's putting them into diamonds.
Oh, my word, my word.
My
So,
goodness.
make sure you're
Katie,
available.
I hate to do this to you, Katie, but I gotta split. I gotta go.
Okay, thank you for coming, Danny, and I'll see you
sorry.
on one of your lives.
Yes, thank you guys very
Love
much for hanging out with me.
Yep. Thank you for coming. Y'all make sure you go visit Danny's channel. If you've not been there, I posted her link and I'll do it again. Go over and subscribe to her channel and then go visit
I'll see you guys again really soon. I love you.
See you later. Love you too. See you on
Love
your
you
next one.
bunches.
Okay. Let me see here. Lainey says, good afternoon, everyone. I hope your day is going well. Yeah, we're having a really good live today with our discussions. Okay, so it's November 29th. But so you need to give me all your pictures at least a day before the live. And if you post them in the Facebook group, let me put that link out there too. GQ Quilter Facebook. I think it's the link. I think. I don't know why I made that one complicated. Thank you for joining the membership, Joyce. I bet I typed that in there wrong. Come on. Weren't you going to take a picture of that latest quilt you did, Rita? That you had in your video, the finished Motor Blockheads one? I thought you were going to take a picture of that one. There's some, oh, I know what I'm doing wrong, I think. Let's see, G cube. Well, I guess I better go look it up on the box because apparently I'm not putting it in there right. Doggone it. I wasn't put, oh, I see what I did wrong. Duh. Happy anniversary, Joyce. I have to find a place to hang it. It is big. Yeah, I can see that. So anyway, if you want to post it on the Greenland Quilter Facebook group, when you post your pictures, there is a post where I mentioned about the giveaway and everything along with posting pictures. But if you can put this in the topic, or not in the topic, but at the top of your, because I want you to say something about your work. You could put GQ Sew and Tell. That way I can find it easy if you don't post it up underneath the original. She said she was going to take it outside to take a photo, but it's been raining every day. Yeah, I hear y'all been getting a lot of rain. Has it been raining much in Florida, Myra?
No. No.
Is it cold?
It was for a few days and now it's hot.
Okay. Joyce says it would have been
Joyce, happy anniversary.
She said it would have been my
It's still your anniversary. Hey, Giovanna.
She said it would have been her 45th anniversary. Hey, Giovanna, how you doing? Hey, I want to ask you a question, Giovanna. Do you buy your R-fill? Well, first of all, what thread do you use for sewing? And if you're using R-fill, are you buying it right there in your country, or are you having to order it overseas? I'm curious whether or not you're buying it since it's made in Italy. And you're in Italy, so I'm curious about the thread, whether you're buying it there or you're having to order it from somewhere else. Rita says it's been raining at, wait, it's running at 75 to 80, but the rain is super cold. I want to see what Giovanna says about the thread, because I was going to ask her about that, whether she's buying it there in Italy or ordering it from somewhere else. Thread's going to go up in January, Myra. Another $2 or $3. R-fill thread is going to go up another $2 or $3 in January, which sucks. Okay. You're welcome, Joyce. Is there going to be space up there at your mom's house for the camper?
It's parked behind our house right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, Giovanna says she cannot find it in her city. She uses searchers. So R-fill's not sold locally in Italy at all, Giovanna? Sounds like. That's interesting. I was trying to find another way of getting my hands on R-fill that didn't cost me out the behind. I'm about to run out of my Dove.
Never run out of Dove.
Well, listen, I'm on my last large R-fill, and then that leaves me with this right here. And when I run out of this, I'm in trouble. This is my last of my R-fill for that color. And it's going to go up in January. So if I want to get my hands on some, I checked Fat Quarter Shop, and last time I looked, they were still out of stock on it. So they must sell a lot of it to be out of stock. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me discuss what we're going to be doing next. I guess we could do that. Let me go back to November because we're still in November. My next live will be on Monday, and the reason I have one on Monday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time is because remember I had to cancel Friday's live because I was not feeling very good. I was having trouble with my eyes, and I've been suffering from exhaustion ever since this thing with the pain happened. It's just washed me out. So anyway, we're going to do the 1000 block number 23, which was supposed to be done on Friday. And to remind everybody what it looks like, it's on page 309. And this is what it looks like. And this is the block makeup. So that's what we'll be doing Monday. And then Friday, we're going to be doing the snowshoe, which means I have to get 4 new blocks posted for y'all to vote on between the 24th and Friday so that you can start voting on the next 4 blocks. But I'm going to be putting in those blocks a full paper piecing block. And let's see, what page is that one on? So the other one we'll be doing on Friday is on page 361, which I think I determined was the wrong page number. Yep. So it's block number 584. Back the other way. I don't even have the right block number on it. This is the one we'll be doing on Friday. And this is the block makeup. You notice that they've got something in here. So we might modify that block maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out because I'm going to play with it. You should ask Zaza for thread. Okay. Katie, watch the last Homely House. She's in England and uses that thread. Okay. Because it's definitely going up in the United States due to tariffs. Unfortunately. Kimberly, on one of her, I think 2 Fridays ago, talked about the thread thing happening, that it was going to go up in January. I will see if I can order it from Amazon Italy. Oh, I didn't know there was an Amazon Italy. That's interesting. I wonder if they'll ship to Greenland from that Amazon. Okay, so that's Monday. And then I'm doing a pre-recorded podcast interview with Zaza. The Inappropriate Quilter. I'll be doing that with her. And then Thursday, the plan is, because that's Thanksgiving Day, for the United States, that is, I will be quilting my Christmas quilt. That's what I'm gonna spend and I probably will run that live a long time because it takes a while to quilt. And then we'll do the 1000 block on Friday. And then Saturday will be the 5K celebration, which kind of redundant now, but and the trunk show. That's what we'll be doing. And that'll complete November. We will be done with November. Sissy, you want to come join me are you busy on the 29th?
What, babe?
Are you busy on the 29th?
Hang on. Let me go to my calendar.
Okay.
Oh, the 29th, I may be going to the Florida State, Florida football game.
Well, that's out then. What about Friday the 28th?
We would be on the road driving.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Are you busy Monday?
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking my grandson somewhere.
You're going to have a busy week. Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Doing what?
I'm taking Gavin somewhere.
Where?
To a library thing. I don't know yet. Something. It's at the library. Tasha asked me to take them.
How old is your grandson?
What?
How old is your grandson?
5.
No, he's the same age. That's right. He was born in the same year Ava was. They're COVID babies.
Yeah, definitely COVID babies.
Yep. Ava, I was talking to Lynette. Well, actually, I was talking to Ava the other day on the FaceTime. But before I got on the FaceTime with her, Lynn was telling me that her teacher called her the other day, which Lynn's friends with the teacher anyway. And she says, "Do you know that your daughter comes walking in my classroom and she thinks she rules everything that's going on in there?" It was hilarious. She's in kindergarten, 5 years old, and thinks she's the boss of the whole classroom.
How wonderful to have that much confidence.
She's a cocky little turd. I'm telling you, but she's fun to talk to. So the whole time we're talking on the FaceTime, she kept wiggling her eyebrows because she's learned how to move her eyebrows. And it was hilarious because she was being totally funny. But she says, "Grandma, you want?" No, she calls me Anna, which is Greenlandic for grandma. She says, "Anna, you want to see my new bed? Look, I want to show you what Mommy and Daddy got me." And she goes in and shows me. I'm like, "Oh, you're all grown up." They got her one of those bed sets where they sleep on the bunk bed part, and up underneath it's desk and shelves and everything all set up nice and pretty, you know. All right.
Oh.
How many yards of thread does your R-fill spool have? Let me look. How do I tell that? Because this is Mako. I'll have to go look it up on Fat Quarter Shop's website. Hold on a minute while I go look it up. Fat Quarter Shop. Because I think they show how many yards is in R-fill. Okay, for the normal large one for the R-fill, it's 1,422 yards for that one, but the bigger one has 6,452 yards. Oh, they've already gone up on the thread at Fat Quarter Shop. Holy crap. Right now is $16.48 now for the 50 weight R-fill Dove, which is the 1,422 yards. For the 50 weight of the bigger spool, which holds the 6,452 yards, $62.98. So she's already gone up on the thread because of tariffs. Ouch. That hurts.
Where does it come from?
Made in Italy. Yeah, it's 220 yards for the small.
Where does R-fill come from?
Italy.
Wow.
So it's jumped $3 and it's going to jump again in January. Another $2 or $3. So before we know, we're going to be paying $20 for one. Because you know how many of these I've gone through this year? I've gone through 3 of these this year. Yep, R-fill raised their prices on top of tariffs. When did that be considered gouging? I don't know. I mean, I don't understand. The companies are not going to pay the tariffs, so they're going to pass it off to us. They have they had an Arpil sale yesterday. Oh, let me go check it out. They probably already sold out of Dove if they had it. Okay, so their six for Dove is $57.95, which was marked down from $69. And the regular large one, the 1,200 yard one, is $14.95, marked down from $15.67. Let me see if they have any in stock. It looks like they still have some in stock. Oh, maybe I should order some. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that because I would not have known that. The companies have to pay the tariffs, which is why the price goes up. The company that wants the product pays the, well, I understand that it's a tax. It's taxes, extra taxes that we all as consumers have to pay because of the tariffs. Giovanna says she can't even find it on Amazon. That's interesting. Cindy, here's the thing about Amazon. Because Greenland is not under the European Union, we can't, some companies will not ship to Greenland because of that. And Greenland's not under the European Union for a reason. They used to be underneath the European Union, but they broke away from European Union for this almost this. Well, basically, here's what the argument was. When they chose to become part of the European Union, the next thing they happened was the European Union says, well, to be part of us, you have to give up all fishing rights to Greenland. And this happened after they joined the European Union. And so the government put a referendum out before the public to vote on, and all the Greenlanders flat out said, no, we are not giving up our fishing rights to any country because it belongs to us, which makes total sense to me because this is one of Greenland's major livelihoods. So they withdrew from the European Union because of that. So, and I'm going somewhere, just bear with me. So because of that, anytime I want to buy anything from Amazon, say Amazon USA, which is usually my go-to place, I can order videos and I can order books and they will send those. But anything outside of that, you can forget it. They do not ship it to Greenland. Arafil 5,000.
Is it 50 weight? Is it 50 weight that you're using?
Yeah, 50 weight Dove. It's, yeah. Rita says Arafil 5,000 yard is running $20 here. Really? Is that for 50 weight, Rita, or for a different weight? I've never seen it for 20 bucks. Yeah, I understand that, Giovanni. The United States is collecting that tax, not Italy. It's not Italy's fault. It's the United States' fault putting this tariff. And the consumers of the United States are having to pay for that tariff, especially quilters. I hate to see what boutiques are going to go up to because, well, see, Moda Fabrics is manufactured in Japan. Boutiques are manufactured or created in Indonesian countries or Asian countries. So that's probably going to drive that price up with it because some of those countries, when I saw the percentage of tariffs that's being placed upon them, I'm like, oh my God, the fabric is going to skyrocket. I must have missed something. Okay, Cindy says, have you tried Amazon? Joe Bonner says she can't find anything. Riley Blake is their own cotton thread now, too. Really? I didn't know they were making their own cotton thread. And then Giovanna says, I am sorry for all of you in the US. Layer cakes are already up $10. So they're gone up. Yeah, it's crazy. When I first started sewing in 2017, a layer cake was, I think, $30, and now it's $45 the last I looked. Denise was asking how many yards. I gave the answer to that. What weight are you looking for? I'm looking for 50 weight. 50 weight dove. Rita says DHL, FedEx, UPS, USPS, TNT, and DPT will all ship to. Yes, Rita, but that's not the. She says 50 weight. Where do you buy it for? Wait, Rita, where do you find 50 weight for $20? Is that the small? Is that the regular size one like this, or is that the cone? You said 5,000 yards. Where did you find that at? I just saw 52. And then Bonnie says, I'm going to jump off here and go hit up on Tiffany, so I will see you tomorrow. I didn't know Tiffany was live right now. Really? Rita, can you email me the information? Walmart sells Aurifil? Really? Well, I knew Amazon sold Aurifil, but Amazon's absolutely not going to ship it to me. I've already tried that. They don't ship that stuff to Greenland because we're under the restriction of because we're not part of the EU. Unless something's changed in the last 6 months I don't know about. Joe Bonis is not here in Italy. That's interesting. It's made in Italy, but you can't buy it in Italy. I wonder why. There's the link for the Walmart one. Wow, I'm surprised to see that in Walmart of all places. $15.95 for the large Aurifil for the 1,422 yard one. And then $52 for the 6,452 yard one. So the prices are about the same as backcourt. Well, no, same as Missouri Star currently right now. But Missouri Star has it on sale right now. Aurifil Dove with no price tag on it. Not available. Thank you, Rita, for sharing that. Denise says, have one of your children mount. Probably what I'll do is I have a box that's gonna come from Syracuse to me. It's close to being ready for being mailing. So I'll probably just send a couple schools to Melanie because she's making my box right now and the box is almost ready to go. It looks like I'm gonna end up having 2 boxes because I got something in there that's weighty. All right. Anybody else have any other questions they want to ask? I think I'm gonna shut down the live. 7, 8:39. So we've been going 2.5 hours. Denise, it would be cheaper for her to go to the US. Yes, it would. I definitely, while I'm in the United States, will probably pick up more thread while I'm at it. Find somewhere that's cheap enough for me to buy it from anyway. I may end up just buying the really big spool, so it'll last me a long time. But $52 or $69 is a lot to swallow on thread. Giovanna says, I say night to everyone. Cindy Surratt, Giovanna. All right. Everyone have a great night. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. And what do? You make something beautiful. And if you need to talk, drop me an email and we'll, about anything between now and our next live for peace of mind. If anyone needs any help, please let us know. We're here for you and we'll do our best to try to help. So love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow on my next live, which is odd for me to be on a live on a Monday. So good night, everyone. Don't hang up, Myra. Oh. Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to stop the live. There we go. We are off. Okay. And then I need to make one more comment here.